Yes. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining on. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us tonight. We are the Jock Brothers, three brothers with like minds who came together to give knowledge and information to our listening audience. I'm your brother, Brother Ahmed. It's Tuesday night, and we have another special show for you tonight. But before we officially get started, let me introduce my team, my brothers, my friends. These brothers are hardworking, family-oriented Black men who strive to be great examples. First, my brother, who is a strong analytical thinker, the businessman, the father, the student, and teacher in this great work of uplifting and resurrecting our people. Please give a warm Jock Brothers round of applause for my brother and your brother, Brother Muhammadali.
Yes. I need more energy, man. More energy. Give me love. Give me love. Inclusive Jock Nation. It's time to go. We got a hot show for you tonight, man. We got some special brothers on. They want to share some of the secrets. They want to share some secrets. Listen, if you want to make a good living, you better tune in. Tune in, like and share. Go ahead, Brother Ahmed.
Yes, sir. And next, my brother, he's always ready to step up and step out on faith. Also a father, a businessman. A straight up soldier in the army of God. He's always ready for the challenge and new experiences. Please give it up. Strong Jock Brothers round of applause for my brother, Brother Warithdeenmohammed.
Yes, sir. That's right, brother. All right. Thank you for that introduction, Ahmed. The check is on the way, brother. Alhamdulillah. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. Beautiful show that Brother Ahmed put together for us tonight. These brothers talking about putting some money in your pocket. It's about to get serious out there. So we got to learn ways to put money in your pocket that do not require you necessarily going to work for the band, but working for yourself. So please tune in tonight. Take notes on this particular show. And thank you for always tuning in to view episodes of the Jock Brothers. We work hard to put timely shows together to help save lives. For those that have been with us since day one, man, we salute you. We thank you. And for any of you that ever donated to our platform, it has truly helped us grow tremendously, and we thank you for that. Now, as you know, the Jock Brothers have a prison initiative that we've been running for like the last 5 months. And that prison initiative is putting the baddest and boldest newspaper behind the bars, behind jails, to our brothers that's incarcerated. Please help donate to that initiative. $18 for them to get the final call for 3 months. $30 for them to get the final call for a half a year. $60 for them to get the final call for an entire year. Yes, we got the money. We just now we want to get up to 1,000 subscriptions. 1,000 subscriptions. At the same time, we need people that's locked up behind bars so we can send the paper too. You know, we don't have enough. I don't know 1,000. Do you know 1,000, Brother Jackie?
No, sir.
You know 1,000, Brother Ahmed?
I'm working on it.
That's right. Do any of you brothers have 1,000 people you know locked up?
No, sir.
We need Jock Nation to get involved with this initiative. We need Jock Nation to go to jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com. And if there's anybody you know that's incarcerated, please put their information in our email address, jockviewers@gmail.com, and we'll get the final call subscription to them as like right away, like yesterday. So again, thank you for tuning. Please go to check us out on YouTube, Jock Brothers on YouTube. Just like I said, the JAKQ Brothers. Subscribe, hit the bell, and please share. Thank you, brother. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, let's get started. Our show tonight deals with the foundation. The foundation of what? Oh, Black Wall Street, Walmart, Home Depot, all these major shopping facilities. Tonight, we're educating ourselves about something called logistics, supply chain. Logistics is the overall process of managing how resources are acquired, stored, and transported to their final destination. I mean, in simple terms, the goal of logistics management is to have the right amount of resources or input at the right time, getting it to the appropriate locations in appropriate condition, and delivering it to the correct internal or external customer, which is you and I. Our guests tonight are part of this supply chain. They're part of the logistics, and they're going to break it down, giving us knowledge, giving us opportunities of where we can financially empower ourselves in an industry that we don't have a lot of knowledge about. Our guest tonight, first, he is a student of teachings of the Honorable Elijahmuhammad, as taught and represented by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He's the owner, director of operations of Torchlight Logistics LLC. They focus on enhancing the income of the carriers as well as facilitating the goals through professionalism and quality service. He's an instructor of the Torchlight Logistics Intensive Dispatch Training Course for all who are interested in making money in trucking industry without a truck. I mean, this brother's going to drop some jewels on you. He got into dispatching in June 2021 in mentorship of Boss Moves Transportation. After working 2 jobs at the time, day shift and third shift, he was able to generate enough income via dispatching while on the first shift to transition into dispatching full time. I mean, come on, brothers. This brother started from 2 and 3 jobs to creating his own avenue of financial freedom and success. Please give a warm Jock Brothers round of applause for our brother, your brother, Brother Demetrius X.
All praises due to Allah. Thank you, brother. All praises due to Allah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Brother, you want to say anything about your business really quick?
Yes, sir. First, I just want to say thank you to the Jock Brothers for allowing me to come up amongst this prestigious platform. It's a true honor and privilege. And as I saw in the introduction that you all are men of vision, I believe that's very important because as the scripture states, where there is no vision, the people will perish. That's right. And as you mentioned about ways to enhance our finances as men and women, what we can do for self, what the Honorable Elijahmuhammad teaches us, is very important, especially for the men who are striving to be better maintainers of our families. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan mentioned in the marriage DVD that he wanted to see the FOI either with a job or learning sales technique so that we can produce money for our families. And this is a great way through the trucking industry, which is an $800 billion industry, for us to be able to get involved in. And the way that I'll be speaking about is through dispatching. For those who don't know what dispatching is simply, in a nutshell, booking loads for drivers, right? The load may be picking up in Atlanta, Georgia. It may be delivering in Charlotte, North Carolina. The dispatcher's responsibility will be to go through a broker or a shipper to book the load and handle the paperwork so the driver can focus on driving and get into the location safely, securely, without having the hassle of filling out documentation and paperwork. It requires much more. It also requires analytics. It requires being consistent. It requires having negotiation and communication skills, but it can be done from the comfort of your home or anywhere you may find yourself, as long as you have Wi-Fi, laptop, and a cell phone. So this is a great tool that has been very, very great for me. I thank Almighty God Allah for helping me transition into the trucking industry. And as you mentioned, I've been able to help students as well leave their job and get involved in the transportation industry via dispatching to be successful as well. So I thank you all for allowing me to be a part of your platform. Once again, it's a true honor and privilege. I'm looking forward to sharing whatever I can to help the audience tonight. Assalamu alaikum.
That's right. That's right.
Man, we have to look at in logistics, planes, trains, trucks, transporting. We need brokers to brokerage these deals to get products from one location to the other. Our next guest has an extensive domestic and international experience in supply chain management, consulting, trade, contract negotiations, mediations, global relief efforts, and public advocacy. Mr. Price is the president of American Sales and Distribution Service Incorporated, a Georgia-grown sales and distribution company based in Atlanta, Georgia, trading various commodities in agriculture and wholesale goods to multiple distribution networks. Mr. Price is the co-founder of the Joe Beasley Foundation, a charitable nonprofit organization. Mr. Price is also the founder of Heartbeat Community Markets. LaTron Price has been named the Entrepreneur of the Year and the recipient of multiple international awards. Please, brothers and sisters, all viewers, give a great Jock Brothers round of applause for our brother LaTron Price in the house.
Allahu Akbar. Yes, sir. Allahu Akbar. You know, first of all, greetings, and Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Oh, Allah, thank you. Those wonderful accolades belong to Allah. I know they're written and they're assigned to a person as a temporary moment while we're here on earth, and I'm so glad to be used in the way that you just described. Alhamdulillah. Now, obviously, we here in this in our facility. Y'all brothers look so sharp. Generally I throw a suit on, I look a little fresh. My brothers looking like good, well-groomed men, and so there's an honor in that alone. So grateful to see that, especially our black men. Ain't none of y'all sagging today, so that's dope. And y'all serious about what y'all do.
That's right.
First of all, again, I want to thank who you about to meet as well, my little big brother, Brother Tommy Muhammad, who has been a inspiration to me since I was a young person. I just, he introduced me to the platform and introduced to the brothers and what you all doing. And we look forward to sharing with you just our methodologies, some ideas about, where we are from our past, and then where our future, where we're headed to in the future, and the direction of our community in general, at least, from the perspectives that we can share. Let me just kind of do a quick introduction about our business. So American Sales Distribution Services is our, that's our global company that does a number of different things. The company that we're at here, we own a couple of different businesses. The business that we have here is our warehousing business. And this warehousing business currently is the site that we're at is our dry storage space, but we also have refrigerated space as well. With this particular dry space that we are at, we are one of the we're working with one of the largest wheat producers in the world, and we're handling logistics for this organization. So as you see the two websites, alhamdulillah, coldstorageatlanta.com. Cold Storage Atlanta is our refrigeration organization that handles large freight for major organizations from Costco's to Whole Foods, major, they call DCs or distribution centers. And we handle a number of different services for those companies. And we handle those services through the producers. So as an example, Tyson Food is a producer. And so Tyson may have a load of product going to a destination. There are times where they need what's called storage or temporary storage, where the product will come into our location. We've stored for a period, and then it gets loaded and sent to a DC or cross-docked into another truck. Then that happens also with other organizations that may have a need for a refrigeration space. And something that all of our community should know, particularly listeners who are taking advantage of this opportunity. Cold storage is a part of the National Food Security Program. So if you in a population, a large population or any population at all, refrigeration and the cold chain is actually security for food security. It's a part of the program, and we encourage.
Brother Sean, hold on. Before you get too deep, let me introduce your big little brother real quick.
Okay, yes, sir.
Let me introduce him real quick before we get so deep into this, we can't pull back out.
Okay, that's it.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Okay, our last guest is a brother, a great friend, a true advocate of peace and truth, freedom, justice, and equality. He was a very active young assistant student group coordinator at Muhammad Study Group in Syracuse, New York. He worked as a community organizer and outreach worker in addition to his mosque and personal business activities. Mr. Muhammad educated at Bryant Stratton Business School in Syracuse, New York. He started his career in residential real estate investing and automotive sales for Chevrolet. Muhammad moved to Atlanta to open the American Food Staffing, a recruiting and staffing agency in the hospitality industry with Mr. Latron Price in 2000. Muhammad worked as a GM and VP of operations there, managing over 200 temporary and 6 office staff for 4 years. Please bring on this great brother, my friend, your brother, our brother Tommy Muhammad.
Praise be to Allah.
Allahu Akbar. Hey, alhamdulillah, brother. Like my brother just said, we borrow these accolades. They belong to Allah and Allah alone, but we give thanks and praise to be servants, to receive some of the blessings that come along with serving Allah and his great people, the black man and woman of the hells of North America. So I'm thankful that I have an opportunity to serve in that capacity and be a brother. These are my friends. Everybody on here is my friends and family. I mean, I'm just meeting Brother Demetrius, but he FOI, so that makes him family. But I've known Brother Jackie when I was in Orlando, where I was doing some business down there and working there, mostly entertainment industry. And Brother Kaiwi from here in Atlanta and Brother Ahmed, we done business together. We did the maintenance and cleaning business, and that's my brother. So everybody here I've known for many, many years. So all love and peace and blessings to everybody. I'm pretty sure there's some believers and family out in the audience. Yes, sir.
Hey, brother, tell me before you get started, man. Go throw your wife, man, a little shout out, man. She blowing kisses all over the place, brother.
Oh, really? Okay, shout out to the Queen, Muhammad, my beloved Queen. Alhamdulillah. Hey, y'all support her business too. She a business too. CC Cosmetic for your ladies if they want some nice, healthy, organic lip gloss and some other cosmetics on her website. That's CC Cosmetics. That's a shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug, but we're gonna need that cash. Right? We need that cash.
You got to go home, right?
Go with it.
I got you, bro. Jackie, I'll let me on there, bro. We take care.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Shameless plug, but go ahead. Yes,
all right, brothers. Now that we have you on the platform, we're gonna get into this. I just wanted to make one statement before you brothers give your testimony on logistics. The Honorable Ms. Farrakhan teaches us that the factories were taken out of our community. And in removing these factories from our communities pretty much ravished. Jobs, income, financial stability, all our homes. I mean, stability and income. So if each one of you, in explaining logistics, how does this knowledge in warehousing and brokerage and trucking, moving, storing, and transporting products, how is that going to help us get back to where we should be in our communities?
Well, I mean, Latron, you gonna take it first, and then I'll chime in.
Absolutely, yeah, no problem. Well, first of all, alhamdulillah, and thank Allah for the honor of Elijahmuhammad. Thank Allah for Muhammad. Thank Allah for the honor of Elijahmuhammad, and thank Allah for our great leader, Mr. Louis Farrakhan, and spreading the word for our people to be free in America. And it's a beautiful thing. And I see my screen froze. So if y'all hear me, if there's a problem, I pray that the link comes right back.
You good?
Okay, fantastic. So one of the ways that logistics specifically impacts our community, it goes to the root of what we all know as an economy. It goes to the very basic reality of what it is to be in economy. And before we go into that question and really get a true answer, I like to start off from a very simplistic way, because I think if we understand the basics, it's easier to understand, how things move. And so what that looks like for me, as far as to explain it, is you ask yourself, where does money come from? Or where does an economy start? And the economy starts from what the Creator gave all of us for free. And that's our land, our air, our endowment, and Honorable Elijahmuhammad and Minister Louis Farrakhan really helped over generations for us to really understand from what that looks like. So when the Europeans showed up here in North America, Genesis, the book of Genesis, that's really the key. I usually try to send our community to that first, because in Genesis 1:26, and I don't know, brother, if y'all can pull it up, but this is how this works. Genesis 1:26 says, "Let us make man in our image and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea." They're talking about the shrimp, the mahi, the grouper, have dominion over, and I don't have it in front of me, but have dominion over the beast of the field. You gonna pull it up? Oh, alhamdulillah. Okay. Thank you, brother.
Brother Price. Somebody asking me, Brother Price. Somebody asked me. They said, "Do you manage that warehouse?" They said, "You the manager."
So we own the business. So not only do we
hold up, say it again.
By Allah's mercy, we own the business. So at this site, we have 50,000 square feet in the space I'm in. Next door, there's 80,000 square feet next door. And then we have warehouse space at the State Farmers Market as well. And so collectively, we own these businesses. These are our businesses. These are our customers. We have managers. Alhamdulillah, we have Tommy Muhammad, who's my brother, biological brother. He's the GM at this site. He runs this site here. I'm here, and I do. I'm doing everything as well. So I lift pallets, and we work together. But we own the business, brother.
Show them what you got, Brother Price. Show them what you got.
Yes, sir. But I wanted to before we get into this, because this is a scale, right? And you see it, and you say, okay, man, what does that mean, and how do I do that? Well, in order to get the mind in a position to do that, you got to understand Genesis. You got to understand what the scriptures are, because in truth, the accolade is wonderful when you go to college or you go to get an education, but you're training you to work for someone else, and they train you to manage their goods, but they don't teach you how to go and do it for yourself. And the way you're gonna learn how to do it for yourself is really understanding Allah, God, the universe. And so as an example, what I was getting to was that in Genesis. Could somebody pull that up? I don't know how to do it here, but I want to be specific so that it could open the mind up to a viewer, so they can start saying, "Okay, I get it now." When Europeans came to America, they were given this book as their document, and this King James version of the Bible was the economic status starter. And that status starter is still impacting your life and not my life today, because it's just the truth. And in that, if we pull up Genesis, are we able to do that at all? And
it's right here. I got it. It says
and it's Genesis
1:26, right?
Yeah, start at 126. Read the whole thing again after I explain it this way so that it'll open your mind up, because it really kind of helps what it is that we're doing. And then I'm going to explain to you where the opportunities are in that as it relates to our economics. And
okay, yes, sir.
Yeah. So
okay, go ahead. Tell me when to go.
Okay, go read, brother, please.
And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea."
Pause there. That's so if you go fishing in the state of Georgia, where you are today, and you don't get a license, they're gonna arrest you. That's because they have dominion over it. And that's including all the trout, the bass, the mahi, the grouper. Okay, go to the next one, brother.
Over the fowl of the air.
That's the chickens, that's the poultry, that's all the animals that got wings that we capture. If you hunt them in this state or any state in America, and you don't get a license, they will arrest you because they have dominion. The next one, brother.
Over the cattle.
Oh, that's all our cattle. That's our four-legged animals. That's the lamb, the goat, even those swine that you see. Keep going, brother.
And over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth,
including my black self and your black self. Okay, keep going, brother.
Well, that's the whole verse right there.
Read the next one, and I'm gonna wrap, and I'm gonna get into how this all applies. Keep going.
I didn't pull that one up. Let me pull it up for you.
I apologize.
Yes, sir. Let me see.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at Ahmed. He got like 1,500 books behind him. I mean, is one of them? You mean to tell me not one of them is the Bible?
Let me. I pull it up real quick. My phone's in.
So God created man in his own image.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
In the image of God, He created him, male and female. He created them. That's 27.
I mean, keep going.
Oh man,
God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air.
Subdue means to take hold of it, to secure it.
Yes, sir.
And then go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. And have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
Keep going. Okay. You're almost there.
And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth. Hold on, brother. Are we Hebrew Israelites? You got to say read, brother. You got to say it with some strength, brother, like my brothers do on the corner, man. Read. Which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. My brothers there, man. I love them Hebrew Israelites.
So let me tell you, brother, the Hebrew Israelites, they read, they add it too, and they're teaching. But what I want to do is I want to translate that into an economy. And what does it mean? And why is it important for us to understand it in a way beyond the way it's taught to us? And so they teach it to us in a way of it's a spiritual context or some scripture in the way that it's not tangible. But I'm here to share my message tonight with my brothers is to say, look, brothers, this is real and this is tangible. And here's how it works. So for me, that was the lightning rod for me. And so my thought was, wow, if that is the truth, how do we get involved in what God gave all of us as an economy? Yes, and so from that, we looked at ways that we could organize our businesses with that as the framework. And every CEO, and I've learned this, every CEO, most CEOs, I stand in that correction, most CEOs of major corporations, they understand that verse. Those verses is a pillar of understanding. Okay. So what we do here at this location, we are a grain storage warehouse. Okay. So I'm gonna show you real quick. I stepped out the image, but I wanted to show you. This is wheat. So when you see wheat, you say, wow, that's wheat, right? What does wheat do? So one of our customers in this particular site, our warehouse, is one of the largest producers of wheat in the world. And their business model is in distributing wheat to a number of different customer brands. One of the brands they sell to is craft breweries. But in addition to that, the Western world's core business model, core culture in the Western world is based on bread. And so if we could historically look back at any culture from the West, most cultures from the West,
Right.
Bread is the staple. So we
Right.
that's it, right? This is bread on the table. And so this is what we call for meat, as it's just my brother just read, right? This is grain. And so so at this site right here, we store for these companies. Now, if you look up some of these other areas of opportunity, I encourage our community to go to their Department of Agriculture websites. That's one of the main keys to really understanding the logistics and where the opportunities are when it comes to ag or food in general. And Honorable Elijahmuhammad and Minister Farrakhan, Honorable Minister Farrakhan said that we got to take care of ourselves by food, clothing, and shelter. Food, clothing, and shelter. Now, everybody may not want to do food. So let's say I want to do clothing. Well, the state of Georgia, as an example, is still to this day, the number one row crop in this state is cotton. The question is, how are we in the position from going from point A to point B and being in that supply chain of cotton today? And how do you get into that opportunity? Our brother who has a transport company, Brother Demetrius X, alhamdulillah, is one way of doing it as far as transporting it. But in addition to that, there are other services needed, such as you got the growers, you got the harvesters, you have the gin companies, then you got the transport companies, then you have the manufacturing companies, and then in between all that, generally there's product moving from point A to point B. And for $1 to enter the economy, it starts with the harvesting of what God gave us all as an endowment and moving it from point A to point B in a usable manner. And I'm going to pause. I just wanted to drop some of it on y'all.
Hey.
Background understanding.
Right.
That was a lot, brother.
Hey,
that was a lot.
Yes, sir.
And it's so strange that how just hearing the word cotton is still a key in, because I just pictured our people just not wanting to deal with cotton. Right. You know what I mean? So it's still such a key in, but just like you just mentioned, it's still the number one in economics right now, and we're staying out of it. So my question to you, Brother Demetrius, when you hear this talk as far as storage, the warehouse, what comes to your mind as a broker, or as a what comes to your mind?
Yes,
you
sir.
know, with what your skill set is.
Yes, sir, Brother Jackie. As a dispatcher, what we just heard from Brother Latron, if that's your name correct, Brother Latron?
Yes, sir.
What we heard from Brother Latron is how broad logistics is. A lot of times when we think about trucking or transportation, we just think about just somebody who has a CDL, who gets into operating, transportating goods from the shipper to a receiver, or somebody that's brokering freight, or myself who's a dispatcher. So he's showing us there's multiple ways to enter the world of logistics that is much deeper than just trucks. But for myself as a dispatcher, what I'm looking at is my brother has his own warehouse. He has his own facility where he's storing wheat and other goods and services. So therefore, as a dispatcher who is focusing on representing carriers, booking loads for carriers, and maximizing the income of drivers, I'm looking how I can find a contract with my brother. If he needs that wheat transported from one place to another location, they're going to need trucks that are going to be able to move that wheat. So therefore, it'll be my responsibility to reach out to Latron and those in his position to see if we can generate a profitable contract and agreement where I can service his company by helping him move the freight, which is something that he needs done, as well as help my driver get paid as well. And as a dispatcher, how we profit and benefit is we get a percentage off of each load that we book for our drivers. So let's just say that Latron and Brother Tommy, they need the wheat moved from Atlanta to, let's say, Augusta, Georgia, where I'm located at. That's around 144 miles, right? Let's say that they're willing to pay $800 for that load. And if I'm charging 10% for that, for my service, that means I'm getting $80 off each load that I'm booking. Let's say that I have 3 drivers that I'm booking loads for each day coming out of his facility, then that's $240 a day that you'll be making just with Brother Latron and his warehousing service. So I'm looking for a way that I can get in with Brother Latron and Brother Tommy with my drivers to see how I can service them as well as service my drivers as well. And it's much more as a dispatcher, even though I stated it's dealing with booking loads for drivers and maximizing their income and facilitating the goals. It's much more than just going on a load board, calling a broker, or reaching out to a shipper and booking a load. It's so much more than that. Anybody can do that, brothers and sisters who are listening in the audience. But also what is required is, that's not really spoken on a lot, is the analysis that goes into it, right? Depending on the type of equipment that a driver has, whether it's a dry van or reefer, which stores refrigerated goods. What Brother Latron was talking about, he has refrigerated products, something that needs to be at a certain temperature that's regulated, or a flatbed, right? Depending on the type of truck and trailer that my client has, it's our job as dispatchers to do the research and analysis to find out where are the highest paying loads currently for those equipment types. They may be based out of Atlanta or Georgia, but if he has a dry vans may be paying the most in the Midwest, in the Ohio, the Missouri area, the Detroit area, depending on what type of equipment they have. It's our job to find out where those loads are paying the most and then to position them in those locations so we can maximize the profit. Because you may be only able to make so much coming out of Georgia because there may not be a lot of loads for dry vans coming out of Georgia. It changes through the season. So it's our job to stay on the analysis and position those drivers in the best areas to maximize the profit, but also to have good communication skills. That's key in this role, you all, because you're going to have to call brokers and shippers like Tommy and Brother Latron and negotiate that rate. Tommy may say, I only want to give you $400 for the load. No, he may want to keep more of the money in his pocket, right?
We don't want to speak to Tommy.
Right.
Please call
right?
me, brother. Call
so since Tommy want to keep more money in his pocket, I'm gonna have to call Brother Latron and say, hey,
right,
we
need to call Latron. Yes,
Brother
sir.
Latron, look, hey, we know that the diesel prices are high at this moment in many states. They're over $5 per gallon. We're gonna need that rate to be at least around $800, $900 in order for us to move that freight. That's a fair deal for us in this particular moment. You have to know how to communicate with them, what the rates are going for, how the economy is affecting fuel prices, as well as what you need to say in order to maximize that profit. So there's a lot of things involved, but the benefit of entering the logistics industry as a dispatcher is the threshold is so low, you all, and the amount of startup capital is very low. Those who may not have the financing to get their own warehouse and facility, like our brothers have, which is beautiful. Those who may not have the financing to purchase their own truck or start a brokerage company, which requires a broker's license and a surety bond that's $75,000, right? Those may not have that financial ability or capability, but as a dispatcher, you only need cell phone, laptop, Wi-Fi. Yes, you can start an LLC, which is minimal capital, only $100 in Georgia to do so. And you can literally begin booking loads for drivers, making anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a week, depending on how many clients you're able to obtain. And that's what I teach in the intensive dispatch training course that Brother Ahmed mentioned. I teach how to actually find the clients and begin positioning those drivers in that way where they can maximize their profit. The threshold is so low, you all. And that's what I did. I was looking for a way to exit working for the white man, you all. I was looking for an avenue out because I was highly dissatisfied working those 2 jobs. Even though I had an office job, people would consider it a laid back position. But no, something don't sit right with your spirit when you're in these teachings that teach us to do for self, when you feel like your time is not being utilized to service your goal and your purpose on this earth. So I was looking for an opportunity, and I came across my mentor who taught a dispatching training course from Boss Moves Transportation. I first recognized the opportunity. I said, well, I never really wanted to get involved in the trucking industry because I never saw myself driving a truck, right? I never saw myself doing it. I'm kind of more stationary because I'm heavily involved in the mosque here in Augusta, Georgia. I didn't want to be all around the country and not being able to meet the needs of my community. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I applaud my brothers who drive trucks. So that's a sacrifice to get those goods and services there and to be away from your family. But I never saw myself doing that. And I never knew there were ways to make money in the trucking industry outside of driving a physical truck.
That's
right.
right.
So when I saw the opportunity, I said, dispatching is dealing with communicating, making phone calls, making emails, and connecting drivers with brokers and booking loads and building relationships and networking. But hell, that's what I do anyway. On a daily basis. I knew I could see myself operating and being successful in that industry. So as Brother Ahmed stated, I started out doing it from my job place. I was fortunate that my job I had my own computer at my job. I had access to a printer, a scanner, and my email. And I was also able to make phone calls from the job. I would literally have my supervisor in the next seat behind me listening to me as I'm calling brokers on the phone saying, hey, I'm calling about that load you have coming out of Atlanta going to Cleveland, Ohio. Give me the load details on it. My supervisor looking at me like, man, he's that bold. He's going to call that word. But that's how serious I was about it. I really wanted to be able to make that transition. So I was able. Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
I
wanted to know in your business, and Brother Tommy and Brother Latron, but Brother Demetrius, you are dispatching is basically trucks. But are you venturing into planes and boats? I know they had a big issue with the bringing over the freight from across seas recently. Are you getting into the dispatch of freight coming from across seas in different avenues other than trucking?
I have not ventured into any other mode of transportation other than trucking at this particular moment, but I do have goals on scaling the dispatching service into actually getting some equipment of my own, some actual trucking equipment of my own, but not into sea or plane at this particular moment.
Okay.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. Brother, you know what you're referencing is what's called freight forwarding. So from the brokerage, so the stage that our brother Dimitri is at, he's at the domestic side of freight brokerage. And freight brokerage is when, as he mentioned, you have a shipper and you have a receiver, and then he's identifying a driver to go from point A to point B. What you just opened the conversation up to is what we call freight forwarding. And freight forwarding is when you have freight generally going through a port and it's going international through a maritime transaction. And there are a lot of brothers actually start off as brokers, as a freight brokerage, and then eventually build their business relationships whereby you have companies bringing in containers of product, ocean freight containers, of which then there is a freight forwarder needed. Now, freight forwarder regulatory rules are a little different as well, and it's a more extensive. It's not extensive; it's just a different process. And but yes, we work with a lot of freight forwarders, brother. There are actually very few. Well, I should say it that way. There in the U.S., there are few black-owned freight forwarders, generally because the relationships that it requires generally is in a space where you have people who work for them. You find brothers who work for them. When you find owners, though, there's few of them, just because of the relationship of the companies that import product into the U.S. Or export product. You find some Africans, brothers from Africa, from the continent, in freight forwarding. There's few of them, but it is definitely a space that I pray that our community can build off of. And what that would require, just kind of add on to what you're saying, brother, and bringing that to the point, is one, you would need to start a relationship with a port, either an inland port or a seaport. And that port, as in Atlanta or Georgia, as an example, we have the Savannah port. And the freight coming through Savannah port, there's two port areas. You got what's called Brunswick, and you have Brunswick, and you have the Savannah port. Brunswick is a part of the Savannah port. However, Brunswick is the commodity side of it. So this will require you to really kind of go to their website and kind of navigate that as well, navigate that port site in that area. But anyway, and then also the inland port is the Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, which is actually an inland port. There's actually a port there as well. And there's usually regulatory bodies that inspect the loads at those sites as well. So I just want to add that to what you were talking about, brother.
Let me get this question in right here, brother. I hear that y'all got these good ways to make money. How does this build our nation? How does this right here build the nation of Islam, a nation within the nation? I knew you were gonna say something with that, Tommy. I knew they were gonna get you going, Tommy.
Yes, sir. Brother Ahmed, when he framed that question, I want to answer your question, Kawi, with Ahmed's original question. It was a thought I got with your question, but I wanted to try to build on it first. Ahmed, when you asked your question, you remember what it was?
About the Muslim Farrakhan and teaching us about the fact that they removed the factories from our communities.
That's what it was. So, first of all, the Honorable Elijahmuhammad did do exactly what we're talking about, and he gave us a good example. He made relationships with international bodies and ports. He was bringing in the largest amount of fish, whiting fish, from Peru. And that was relationships that he went out and established to be able to do that. Him and I think his son, Herbert Muhammad, and others. But he understood that, right? But in order to do that, he also understood the logistics. He understood you can't just go get a ship container full of fish. That's a lot of fish, right? That's a whole lot of fish. It'll rot before you can move that much. So most people never scale up to that level. But the Honorable Elijahmuhammad at first established his local networks through the mosque. And then he had warehouses. And he had a distribution channels. This is really the logistics of the Nation of Islam, which proved to be a successful model, even on a small scale. But he was able to do a whole lot with that and scale it up. Where he got to the point where he's taking the land, growing the crops, processing the crops, warehousing the crops, distributing it through all the mosques, which were also distribution centers, right? And then door to door from there. That is logistics. And see, his system was outside of the white man's system altogether because he was going straight from the land and the water right to his own distribution system. And that's what gave him the success, even with pennies and nickels and poor people. And we got to get back to that, right? We got to get the trucks, work with brothers like Demetrius, warehouses like what man Latron is doing, and then begin to build the networks with international business and do trade. See, on a large scale, like this what we got here is wheat, and it's mostly coming from Germany, as pointed out, in Europe, because and that's not like there's not wheat here. Right now, the people, there's some other business going on where they're trying to manipulate the price because of the not recession, but right now we got the inflation going on. And these large commodities like this have a lot to do with the general economy in general, because wheat goes into so many different products, crackers, cookies, donuts, bread. It's a major economic part. It's a major part of the economy when it comes to food and agriculture. But in terms of building the nation, what we got to do is get back to what the messenger already demonstrated for us. Right. Realize that we need logistics. See, right now we already got a lot of land. We not a lot, but we got some land. We got some here in Georgia. We got some in other places and states. And we got Brother Ben and Brother Farrakhan Ali are doing the Hereafter Farms. We got other brothers and sisters that have land. But what we're going to need in order for all of it to work successfully is a logistics system. And
You went out.
Oh, here I am. Okay, a way to get the products to the people, right?
Okay.
Now, marketing is a big part of it. You can't leave out advertising and marketing. But between that, we have to have the logistics. Like we need to get, like our farm here in Georgia, we need to have the proper logistics systems between the trucks and warehouses so that the stuff can be properly stored, cold storage for the things that need cold storage, and so it can be near the people. For example, if a person who has a retail store and they place an order, like you go, me and I can talk about this before. You go to a black community. This is an example of the problem. In the black community, even if it's a major chain like McDonald's, because supply chain and logistics is not prioritized for our people, you may go to McDonald's and they ain't got no more ketchup. You may go to get a hamburger bun if you eat beef. Get a hamburger, but ain't no seeds, no sesame seeds. There might not be no more milkshake. My milkshake always out. Why is that? Because our community is not prioritized in the supply chain. They don't make sure there's a warehouse in our community nearby so that all those products can be supplied every single time you go to order your food. Now, even if you were to order the supreme bean pie from Chicago, right? The reason why we can't get it on demand in every major outlet is because we don't have a major warehouse with the proper refrigeration to have those bean pies supplied for the whole East Coast in Georgia. If it got to always come from Chicago and you order it, it's going to take you weeks to get a bean pie. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's
but also,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I thought you were done. I'm sorry, go
because
ahead.
We haven't set up the proper warehousing and trucking system and refrigeration. Simple. It's not. It looks like a simple solution, and it really is. But we just got to go ahead and do that. Those parts. We got to invest in logistics, invest in trucks. Like the minister, when he started the Leotis fleet, we didn't have enough activity to keep those things going and growing that fleet. It should be over 100 to 1,000 trucks at this point.
Right.
But we don't have that, and we don't have the warehouses to supply it, and that's why our customer sales go down, because people ain't gonna come back to your retail outlet if they're, oh, you ain't got it today, or I gotta wait. They're gonna go right up to Walmart, and Walmart mastered that with the big box store model, because it's pretty much a warehouse that you can retail out of.
Right.
We could be doing the same thing. Nothing stopping us.
Nothing stopping them. Now, the Honorable Elijahmuhammad, what he did start, and what MasterFardmuhammad gave us the example of, was going door to door. And our instruction is to get 100 to 300 customers for the final call. We're supposed to have a customer base, so then we'll have that downlink that whenever the product is ready, we can downlink. I mean, because if I'm just getting, if I got 300 customers, and I can make a profit of $10 from each customer per week, I mean, that's $3,000. That's good money. And just with the downlink, with getting products from my brother's warehouse, and then from brother Dimitri, make sure that he's dispatching trucks that's keeping the warehouse full and keeping the downlink happy. So yeah, brother, the Honorable Elijahmuhammad has a foolproof plan, brother. You asked.
Yeah, I want to build on that and jump right back in that, because that's something I think that a lot of our community in general, particularly the brothers of the nation, have already had some experience with knocking on doors. One of the areas that I remember, I was at Tennessee State University in Nashville, working with the brothers there, and we were getting fruit. We go get the fruit, and we bag it up. We go 5 a.m, go buy cases of fruit, bananas, grapes, oranges, apples, what have you, and we bag it up, and we stand out there selling with the final call. And in retrospect, what that did for me, it really kind of introduced me to the business we're in now.
Right.
On a micro level, right? It's a little more challenging because just the way the money flow and the time it takes to generate a dollar in that scenario but it is absolutely one of the best training methodologies that we could ever get. And that's one of the trainings the nation, gave us when we, these are our early days and early start points. Now, my brother Tommy and I, there are days even before we were introduced, Tommy introduced me to the nation, be transparent with the community. Before Tommy introduced me and he was introduced to the nation, when we were kids, we were selling candy door to door. And we were young kids, 13, 14, years old, going door to door selling boxes of candy. And it gave us ability to start to engage a customer, how to deal with customer service, some traits that to this day I find to be most valuable. So to your point, Brother Muhammad, it is Masterfardmuhammad gave us a plan. Elijahmuhammad executed on it, and Minister Farrakhan reinvigorated it to our community when it comes to dealing with customer service and a customer base attitude, and how to engage them and how to build a relationship with your customers. So I think that's a big point, and we honestly probably would not have it's relative, right? We would not have the footprints behind us had those things not been in place.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, brother, wait, hold on a second. I just wanted to, the time is upon us. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I believe we really scratched the surface on this, but we really want to respect our holy month of Ramadan, because it's at a time when we should be breaking fast. Normally we end our program with closing remarks, and with 3 top engineers on our screen right now. If each one of you can give some closing remarks, guide us, our listening audience, in your final closing remarks on how we can empower ourselves in logistics. And also, we would like to promote your businesses. So if you could do all that in your closing remarks, we have a few minutes before we depart from this program. Thank you.
Well, who you gonna start
I'll
with?
start with you, Brother Latron, please.
Alhamdulillah. Something you said earlier, how do we do these things with as it relates to our community and building the foundation of economics, as well as like-minded collaboration with other businesses. What I leave with us is, one, connect with your brothers. When I say connect, I'm not just talking about hitting them up, hey, what you doing? No, connect with them with opportunity. Identify an opportunity, connect with the brothers, put somebody in place so that y'all can really work together. In addition to that, I would also share that in every state, in every location, there's a framework of opportunity. You have to know how to navigate that. So I would also encourage you, get to the state websites, go to USDA website, go to Georgia or your state economic development website, go to, get the data that's available to you and see how to navigate the policies and the rules so that you can be successful, relatively successful in the space that you want to work in. And opportunity is only from Allah. So Allah guide you in that process.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, brother. Brother Tom?
Yes, sir. Ditto to everything that's been said so far. And in my closing remarks, I would say, the success of our nation depends on us mastering the supply chain, to be able to get out after we get our land. And as we acquire land, to make it profitable and sustainable, we're going to have to invest in the trucks, train our youth, teach our children about every aspect of the supply chain. The warehousing is a big part of that. We're going to have to teach them how to dispatch, like Brother Demetrius is offering that. We have offering employment with us. If you drive CDL, or if you have a forklift experience, or even if you're a young brother and sister, if there's a young teenage brother and sister that want to train on a forklift, we have those here. We like to offer you that. That's a skill you can use within this supply chain business in these warehouses and make a decent living for yourself. We also are going to be needing salespeople, because we're going to be selling some more space as we acquire more square footage. We're going to be hiring in accounts receivable, because we got to get paid. So we're going to be trained in that. I also have a tax business and bookkeeping. So we can teach and train our young people, get them involved. I invite you all to send your young people to us, especially during the summertime. We have, they can do some things around here. We can employ them and put some money in their pocket right now. So, and that they can learn these skills and understand the big picture. So,
and how do we reach you? How do we reach out? How do we reach you, brothers? Just from the websites?
Yeah, or you can send an email to operations@coldstorageatlanta.com. Send an email, or you can contact any one of us. Try, you want to give them what's the line?
Yeah, you can go to the website, get the phone number directly. It comes directly to us as well. So, or operations, as they said, with an S, that's operations@coldstorageatlanta.com. And
any drivers, send your resumes in.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you so much. All right, brother Demetrius, it's on you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, brother. Thank you for this time with these, you distinguished brothers. I've always watched this podcast. I've seen the different guests you've had, and it's definitely an honor to be amongst you all as well at this particular time. In closing, I would say for anybody that's interested in getting into the logistics industry through the trucking industry in specific, I would advise them, as my mentor advised me, first assess your position, assess your financial position. Understand what you can do at this particular moment. If you have $50,000 worth of investment capital, then you may want to come in being a fleet owner. You may want to invest in a truck, hire a driver, put the truck on the road by understanding the type of truck to purchase, the right engine to have, how to hire the right driver, and how to maximize your profit. Literally just made one of my drivers grossed them $15,000 in 1 week through operating a truck. So that's the type of money that can be made in trucking. But if you don't have that type of capital saved up to invest in, or you can't get finance for that type of amount, and you're looking for a way to get involved in the trucking industry with minimal capital, then dispatching is a way to do that. It all depends on your situation. And we can definitely teach you and walk you through the process step by step through a classroom session via Zoom. But if you want one-on-one coaching, that will provide you dispatch training, fleet ownership training, and freight brokerage training. I have a team that specializes in all of those things, as well as business credit establishment and branding. We can offer that one-on-one coaching as well. So it all depends on your position. And if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me via the website torchlightdispatch.com, or you can reach me on Instagram. It's @DX_Torchlight. And I'm also on Facebook as Torchlight Logistics. You can reach out to me in any of those modes of communication, and we'll be more than welcome to answer any questions you have and help you with your journey in the trucking industry. Thank you,
bro. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Brother Demetrius, we look forward to working with you, brother. After the show, we're going to definitely connect.
All praise due to. I'm looking forward as well, Brother Latron and Brother Thomas.
That's what I'm talking about. This is what the Jock brothers do. See, we connect that. That's what the Jock brothers do, man.
Wait. But when y'all connect, we want 5%.
That's right. That's right.
Just wear our beat, man. Just wear our beat. We just want you to wear our beat.
Yes, sir.
The messenger always kept it real and to share out what Allah has provided you. And we just call it good reciprocity, however you want to put it.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, bro, Jackie.
Yes, sir. Man, this was absolutely good. I hope you all can come back, Brother Latron, Brother Demetrius, and share some more, because I don't think we was able to go as deep as we could go, for those who may be interested in getting into business, because I really want to know your start. Like, how did you start? What were you doing before you got into business? And, that leap, and it's just so much information that you all have that we need to talk about. So hopefully one day, inshallah, you all can come back and share with us more how you started your endeavor, because there are some hungry people out here, but just afraid. It's just fear. It's just that leap. It's that leap. You got to take that leap like Neo. Either you're going to jump you just gonna keep looking.
That's right.
You know. So I really want to kind of talk a little bit more so we can help those who really want to jump but afraid to jump, and we can kind of, you know, make that leap a little easier. So thank you all, thank you brothers, and thank you all for showing your faith. Thank you for your faith. Thank you for your faith, brother. Quitting your job and doing whatever you're doing on your own. That's faith. That's without faith, man, it's all dead. So
that's right.
Faith without works is dead. So thank you for that, and thank you for being an example. Thank you for being an example. That's what we need, more examples. So definitely, I heard what you said about the youth.
Yes, sir.
Coming to work in the summer program. So that'll be a very good summer program, and definitely we can work something out.
Yes, sir.
We're going to share a summer program that we put together that was very successful with some young folks, and some of those young folks did very, very well. And then in the summer they had $6,000 to $8,000 in that they were able to come out of the summer with. So it's when we come back, we definitely look forward to
I need that job.
That program.
You talking about you don't have grown people stand up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Praise Allah.
Yes, sir.
Alhamdulillah.
Ramadan Mubarak, brothers.
Ramadan Kareem.
Y'all don't want to hear from Kawi?
So I absolutely enjoyed y'all coming to the show, man. Yeah, I mean, y'all really, y'all doing big things. Y'all doing really big things, brother. I don't really see brothers doing things on this level, man. And super proud of you, man. Just to know that, you know, this nation is growing the way it's growing, and that y'all are in this particular field of work doing, you know, I just don't see black men owning warehouse. I know they're out there, but to actually know somebody, to talk to somebody that own a warehouse, talk to somebody that has a school, and they right in my age group, they my peer. That's a beautiful thing, brother. So, man, please keep doing what you're doing, man. And look, I know you saying you growing. I'm a realtor, brother. You say you need some more square footage. You want to do business with Demetrius X? You should be doing business with Brother Kawi. Praise be to Allah. And you say you also looking for, what you say? It's a shameless plug. And you say you're looking for somebody to go get your money, accounts receivable?
Yes, sir.
Well, brother, I've been doing that for 27 years.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He has a skill in that. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Kawi.
That's right.
And you know what? It's the real thing with us. We got a wealthy customer, so it's not even hard. It's just the fact that having the time to do it. I'm doing a lot of things right now because we grew faster than we anticipated. So I'm gonna be hiring in that department. So
let me say this, brother Tommy. You let the drivers do the driving.
Let me be more specific. Allah's bounty. Let's be clear. Hold on. What it is that it's we've been operating the business for several years. What Allah's bounty, how it works is you have seeds that you plant and then you have a harvest.
Come on, man.
We're at a beautiful, beautiful phase of harvest, and in that harvest, it's like one of the most magical things. If you're an agriculture, I know we're going to end. I know we got to go around this respective time. Just want to share that with you. You know, when we have a beautiful harvest like that, it really do call for a whole community to eat, and we are definitely. Otherwise, it goes to waste, right? You lose part of the harvest. So we're saying that in the construct, brother Kawi and brother Demetrius and our other brothers, brother Muhammad and brother Ahmad. You know, there is this required our community to work together. That's the beauty about a harvest. It required us to work together, and so we will talk offline. And I don't want to go too much further than that. Yeah. It's alhamdulillah that you all had us again, but we're so grateful.
Yeah, because I got dumpsters too. Y'all need a dumpster at that warehouse.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what
I'm businessmen on here, brother. Don't even trip on it. It's never businessmen on here, brother.
Let me bring them 40 yards over there.
And if you need to insure your warehouse, if you need to put insurance on your warehouse, look at brother.
So here's the thing. One of the folks that are aware and folks that are unaware. Cold storage. We're actually going to build another cold storage warehouse, and we're looking to do 150,000 square feet. We have customers that we fill that building up right away. The blessing that we have done is that the work, like I said, the seeds that we planted has just been, they're just producing a lot of fruit. And if we don't even have the space yet available in Georgia right now, particularly in Georgia, there's no available additional cold storage space. So we're at the point where we got to create more refrigerated security in this particular market. Now, one thing that for people who are watching this in Chicago or in Philadelphia or in Baltimore, I would, wherever you're at in the U.S., any major metropolitan city, I would encourage you to do an asset evaluation of supply, particular food. Supply chain. Food is about to become very, very, very. It's just where we are in our society. Food is it's going to be a very much needed commodity, and so I encourage us to assess your assets in those areas. Definitely reach out to us because we're interested in possibly working with you to acquire those assets.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
what I got, brother.
Come on, man.
Thank you, soldier.
Man, we can go on all night, brothers, but praise be to Allah. We got the information out, and we let Allah handle the next part. We bless all those who are watching with a blessed Ramadan. Enjoy your week, your weekend, and we pray that you are blessed in your fasting. Thank you all for joining on. We see you next week, inshallah, 7 p.m. Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time. Jock Brothers with another great show. Please tune in and support. Cash App at Jock Brothers. This is a hard work getting this truth out to our people. Thank you all. Good night.
Good night. Another one.